Would you trade in your shirt and tie, dress and makeup for old shorts and t-shirt in a hot, humid and noisy environment?
We did, and we are here to share our story on how we traded in our high-paying corporate jobs to become hawkers in Singapore. Hi there, we're Fran John and we're the corporate breakout couple. Before we share this crazy story, do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel because it helps with the YouTube algorithm and we can make more videos for you.
As we shared previously in our background video, we needed to break out our comfort zones as we were getting too comfortable there. We knew we wanted to contribute to society, but how and in what way? We weren't tech geniuses like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, but we love food, especially Fran, who is from Penang and has high food standards.
There are many Penangites living in Singapore and we all miss our local Penang cuisine. One thing I've noticed after staying in Singapore for so long is that there are not many authentic local Malaysian cuisine in Singapore. Yes, there are stalls there selling so-called Penang food, but they aren't authentic. My friends and I miss Penang food so much that when we gather, all we could do is talk about it. So I decided to be the solution instead of complaining about the problem. So now, here's a catch. I don't cook much at all, and John never cooks. Now that doesn't mean that I don't know how to cook. It means that I don't cook daily or even monthly, much less for hundreds of people on a daily basis. It took me about 2 years of R&D and research and experiments in my home kitchen to tighten up the recipes. So I work Mondays to Fridays in my corporate job and weekends were spent cooking and experimenting at home. It was pretty tough juggling both roles for 2 years, but my vision of bringing delicious home-cooked Penang cuisine to my fellow Malaysians and introducing delicious authentic Penang food to Singaporeans kept me going.
Oftentimes when we build something from scratch, the entire picture isn't very clear, but that's okay. It becomes clearer as we move further along. So don't be afraid to start something new. When we started the business, it was started on the basis of offering real authentic Penang cuisine to Singapore. Our focus was to get our first store up and running, make it profitable, and then expand from there. A lot of people ask, why didn't we start by opening a restaurant instead of a hawker stall? This is why. As business owners, we need to understand our financial runway. Financial runway means the capital we are willing to risk and the opportunity cost we are willing to take. We created a 2-year plan that we committed to be fully in and make the business work, no matter what it took. Our exit strategy, in the event the business failed, was to re-enter the corporate rat race. With this plan, we need not downgrade our house nor sell our car. So by opening a hawker stall versus a restaurant, we kept our financial risk to a minimum.
We bid for a stall at Chinatown Hawker Complex and we opened to much fanfare in 2018. This is the first time that John and I ventured into the F&B space, and there were many things that we did not know and we learned along the way. It was through trial and error and many mistakes. We knew that it would be extremely long hours and intensive labor, but nothing could have prepared us for this.
I hardly ventured to the wet market in the past. As a hawker, it became my daily routine to select the freshest vegetables and to be back at the store in 20 minutes as time is not a luxury.
The first month was the toughest. We only slept 2 to 3 hours daily as we spent long hours at the store preparing the food in the morning and we spent long hours cleaning way into the night after the store closed. We wake up at 4 AM every day and got home around midnight. By the time we went to bed, it was around 1 AM or so. We were very grateful that there were long queues at our stall because our food was well received. This meant that every minute that our stall was open, we were on our feet cooking and serving customers and no rest time in between. It was a far cry from our air-conditioned office jobs with comfortable chairs and big desks. However, seeing the smiling faces of our customers and receiving their rave reviews made it all worth it. The joy of seeing people enjoying our food was an indescribable feeling. We were also overwhelmed with so much love and support from our friends and family from all over the world. We literally had someone we knew come visit us and try our food every single day throughout the 2 years. We had a chance to meet high school friends who brought their entire family come see us. We had relatives from overseas paying surprise visits, friends whom we haven't met in years showing up in groups, and ex-colleagues from all our different companies from Penang and Singapore showing their love and support. I never realized that we were so deeply loved by so many if we had not had this business.
Of course, life is funny that way. Things don't turn out the way we envision it to be, but that's okay too. In the second year of business, it was getting harder and harder to turn a profit. Cost of ingredients kept going up, and there were many elements that were not in our control that affected the business. We really gave it our all for this hawker stall. Our minds were constantly churning on how to grow the business, working on new recipes, new offerings, and enhanced services. We improved our recipes and added more to the menu. We did up flyers and went on all food delivery platforms and catering companies. We did social media marketing, and we even went as far as to change the store location after 1 year. So why did we do all this? We promised ourselves we will give the business 100% commitment and do whatever it takes to make it work.
We stayed the course until the game wasn't worth playing. No one opens a business just to fail. We have to give it its rightful time for its nurturing period and then cut the loss. So after 2 years, we hung up our aprons and we called it quits. We failed, but no regrets. We wouldn't have changed a single thing about the business and the journey that we were on because it taught us more in 2 years than our 15 years of corporate experience.
Going into this business taught us many things. Fran and I always worked separately in the corporate world, and this was our first foray into business together as a married couple. We learned a lot about each other. We complemented each other well. Her strengths were my weaknesses. Her weaknesses were my strengths. Hence, we worked well together as a team.
As employees previously, we realized we don't do much thinking outside of our job scope. There isn't a need to. It was either always someone else's problem or responsibility. Even if we did need to strategize further, it was always within our business department or business unit. However, as a business owner, everything's your problem and everything's on you. From the operations, sales, marketing, customer service, finance, and revenue. Our minds are always on, it's never switched off because we are always thinking of new solutions to solve new problems and ways to increase revenue. I'm sure all you entrepreneurs out there know what it's like. If you look at business as a game, every game then has a starting point, a middle, and an end. So therefore in business, it is important to start planning and executing our game plan, a midpoint check-in, and when the game becomes not worth playing anymore, that is when we end the game. Understanding the business dynamics in a volatile industry is important, and knowing when to start a business and when to call it quits is very important. We were very fortunate to quit a few months before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. If we had stayed in business, we have suffered immense losses.
Being self-employed taught us the value of trading time for money. If we didn't open the store for 1 day, it means no income. It made us appreciate the meaning of time freedom and also appreciate the value of every single dollar we earn. Therefore, we fight very hard for time freedom. We will do a video in the future about time freedom and what it really means. We are extremely grateful for all the lessons that our hawker business has taught us. It has opened up many doors of opportunities, which we will share in our future videos. I'm sure you're very curious about what happened after our hawker business ended. Do comment below what you think that we did after the hawker business ended. We would love to hear from you.
Have you ever wanted to start a business? If yes, what was in the way of starting it? Which part of this video resonated with you the most? Do comment below.
We hope our story has stirred something within you and it is not too late for you to chase your dreams. Failure is not the end. It is just a learning lesson for you to rise even higher.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up on the like button and hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of our videos.